Alright there folks, welcome to another Fishing Adventures Bite Size, and we're getting cheeky today. We're talking about lubrication. Ooh. So this has been quite a topic of conversation on the Facebook group. Someone innocently asked what sort of lube would be best, and then it kind of snowballed into some sort of innuendo type post, but that were kind of my fault. But I'm not sorry, because it were quite funny. So, pole elastics, we all need them. They can get expensive and we want to look after them. So what's the best way of doing it? Now, if you look on any shopping store, in any tackle shop, they'll have lube there, all sorts of different kinds. And believe me, I've tried them all. I've spent a fortune on them and I hate every single one of them. They're just complete and utter cack. They're a waste of money. I've tried one that was supposed to be the best on the market. It cost me £8. I put it in all my top kits. Within about half an hour of fishing, it basically dried out and got sticky, and it was causing more problems than anything else. I've tried the cheapest on the market that was about £3. I might as well have just peed on my elastic, to be fair. It did literally nothing. So I binned everything off and I just stopped using them. And that had a detrimental effect on my fishing, obviously, because when your elastic's pouring out, it's causing friction, which causes damage, it causes wear, your elastics don't last long enough. It's pretty simple, really. So what I used to do is, before the session, I'd put my rig on, dip it in, get a bit of water on it and think, yeah, that'll be right. What an idiot. It's not. And now, at this time of year, if you get any water in there, there's a chance it's going to freeze, and that is just going to cause a nightmare for your elastics. So what can you do? Well, I've been a Yorkshireman again. As you know, I am quite tight. So I've been looking around for a little bit of a cheeky alternative, and I can't take any credit for this one at all. It is something that I've stolen off Jamie Hughes, to be fair. He uses this all the time. I've been using this for about 4 months myself, and it's absolutely mint. And it's dead simple, because all you need is some of that hair conditioner. Don't tell the missus, because this is hers. But anyway, and then all you need is a tub to squirt it in and some warm water out of the kettle. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. Now this one it's just a standard coconut milk conditioner. Now I don't mind the smell of coconut, and I use like a coconut additive in some of my pellets, so I don't mind if this gets on my fingers and stuff like that. But you can get one, there is a brand that is fragrance free. I've no idea what it is, but it is out there. So if ever you're in Boots or something, other supermarkets are available, obviously. Go check out the conditioners and just get some. And for like what, £1 a bottle, £2 a bottle, you can't really go wrong. Or you can just steal the wife's or your girlfriend's or whatever. Just don't say anything. So to mix it up, all you simply do is pour some of that into a tub and then just fill it up with water. I think I've got probably 50 ml of the conditioner for about 200 ml of water, and it makes a nice kind of just lube, really. I can't explain it. It just feels really, really nice in your fingers. And then all I simply do is pour that into the top of the top kits, and it just lets that elastic run nice and neatly. Okay, I mean they're in there pretty tight anyway, so they will spring back, but if you can hear that, it is dragging a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour just a tiny bit of this in through the top and just see. Okay, so I mean you don't necessarily need a huge amount, but it does go all over, so you've got to be careful. Okay, so let that drain through there, and that it just makes it so much better. There's no drag on there at all. Okay, and it smells lovely. But yeah, as you can hear that, there's very, very little drag in there now. It just makes a massive difference, and it's something so simple. And the best thing is as well, if you start to look after your elastics like that, they will last a lot longer. Now, if you've been a fan of this channel for a while, you'll know that I only ever use Dan's pole elastics for my poles, and that is simply because it is absolutely fantastic quality, and you only pay for what you're going to need. So if you only need 2 meters, you can buy just 2 meters. You don't have to buy a 3 meter length and then waste a meter of it. And that's where the tackle companies just rip everybody off, because it absolutely drives me crazy, and it just angers me so much. We all work hard for our money, and then the tackle companies just take the pee by doing something like that. It just annoys the pants off me. But anyway, I'm going to end up getting really irate if I carry on like that. But check out Dan's pole elastic. There is a link below in the description, and if you use discount code BOX10 you get 10% off your order as well. Just go and check it out. As I say, it's all I use. I've never ever had an issue with it. It is really worth checking out, and it'll save you some cash, and that to me is more important. You can go out and earn money all you want, but if you can save money somewhere, it's a double bonus basically. So, talking about elastics, how do you connect your rig to your elastic? Oh man, there's probably 4 different ways out there. There might be more, but let me run you through them. Okay, so you've got your Dacron connector. They've been around for absolutely donkey's years. You've got your plastic connector, which I think every man and his dog has probably owned through the years. I've got some in the shed somewhere. I don't know why I'm keeping them, because I ain't ever going to use them again. You've got your crow's foot, and you've got your knot and bead. Now, forget the plastic connectors, because they're complete junk. They just are. I'm not going to lie, they're just a total waste of time. They're too fiddly, unreliable, and I don't see the benefit of having them, to be fair. So what I use, I'm going to say 3, because I'm kind of experimenting with a few different things on a few different rigs, but I'll explain that in a minute. The one that I use most for open water fishing or tight up to the far bank is this one. I don't know if you can see that, but it's basically called the crow's foot, and it's basically, you see that, it's just a big loop in the end that's been cut down to create a big knot of a mess. And as I say, for all my open water, that is what I do, and that knot is big enough there that it won't slide back up into the pole, and that is great because it gives me a direct connection straight into that fish. There's nothing in between that's going to delay anything. I'm straight into it. I've missed loads less bites by using that, and I've just got a ton of confidence in it. The only downside is, because you're fastening your loop directly to the elastic, it can cause some wear, so you've just got to check it periodically, but it's not really a major issue. Chopping 10mm off and then redoing it, it's not the end of the world. Now, the second one I use is the good old classic Dacron, and that is basically, you get a bead there that your knot sits in, and you get some form of, like, I don't even know what that is. It's like almost like a braided line, and you put your rig onto there. Now, I use this if I'm fishing shallow and I want to keep slapping that rig. The reason I do that is because that Dacron sticks out from the end of the pole by about an inch, and I know that the line is an inch away from the pole tip, so if I'm slapping it, I've got a lot less chance of it actually wrapping around the end of the pole. It's something to think about. So I do use Dacrons in that situation. Sometimes I get my top kits completely confused because I am quite a simple chap, and I will set up the wrong rig up with the wrong bit, but you know what, I'm only human. Now the other one, and this is one that someone mentioned a little while ago, and I didn't really get my head around it, and I thought, I don't even know what you're on about, but I've actually been using it myself for about 6 months without even realising it. So what this one is, it is simply like the Dacron, but without the braided line basically. So you slide the bead onto your elastic, you tie a knot, and then behind the knot is where you attach your pole rig. So you've got your knot, you fasten your pull rig on, and then you slide that bead down over the knot, and it just makes everything really, really neat and tidy. Okay, you can slap with it, you can get right into cover on the far bank, and it just seems to be the best of both worlds. And you're in direct connection with that fish as well. There's nothing in between. That elastic is straight onto your pole rig, so again, you've got less opportunity for missed bites and things. Now you'll notice I've done this on probably 2 or 3 videos actually, looking back, and a few people have picked up on it, especially I think it was the Poppleton Lakes video that I did an autumn winter tactics on commercial, and I'd hooked a carp, and by the time I got it in the net there was like literally 18 inches of elastics dangling out of the pole, and people were saying, what is going on, what is wrong with your elastic? There was nothing wrong with the elastic. What I'd done, because I'm slightly slow and brain dead, I'd used a bead that wasn't gripping on to the elastic tight enough. So what was happening, when the elastic was getting pulled and stretched, it was obviously getting thinner, and that freed up the bead, and the bead was flying up the elastic. And as the fish got into the landing net, obviously the elastic contracted again and went thick and trapped the bead. So the bead was 18 inches above where it should have been. It should have stayed down near that knot. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And it took me ages to actually work out that that is what is happening. So that is why I'm in the process of changing everything over, because I've got some really nice tight little beads that I can do that with. So for the rest of this year I will be fishing that method, just basically connecting the pole rig onto the elastic with a bead that I can push back down over that knot, keep everything nice and neat and tidy. Yeah, that is why it took me so long to actually work that out, is beyond me. But anyway, what can I say? I'm not going to come and sit here with a ton of excuses, but I just hope that helps. I hope you find that useful. Definitely give the lube a try. As I say, it's as cheap as chips, and a bottle of conditioner is going to last you for ages. And yeah, and just have an experiment with your connectors and just see, have a think about how you fish, where you fish, and what it is that you ultimately want to achieve, and just go down that route. But yeah, there's plenty more to come. Stick around, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Get involved and get joining us on Facebook as well. And I'll catch you all later. Cheers.